Steve McQueen dives off of his diving board at his Palm Springs, California, home in 1963. Swedish model and actress Maud Adams in 1966. The Bee Gees hang at the pool in 1974. Terry Nunn, who later became the lead singer of Berlin, auditioning for the role of Princess Leia in Star Wars with Harrison Ford in 1976. Happy Days Chachi, Scott Baio, and Joni Erin Moran at the beach in 1981. The Jackson 5 pose with minibikes and their parents at their pool in Encino, California in 1971. Actress Dolores Del Rio lounges by a pool with friends while in Acapulco in 1952. The Beatles climb out of a pool while filming a movie, tentatively called Beatles 2, in the Bahamas in 1965. Here's Al Molinaro and Cassandra Peterson, aka Elvira, on a Happy Days episode in 1979. Regis Philbin and his wife Joy enjoy a hotel swimming pool in 1989. Comedian and actor Tommy Chong has 6 children: Ray Dawn, Robbie, Precious, Paris, Gilbran, and has adopted his son Marcus. The Beatles joined by Yoko Ono in the studio back in 1969. Not a happy time by the looks on all on their faces. In the comedy fantasy film The Incredible Mr. Limpet, Don Knotts plays a mild-mannered man named Henry Limpet who turns into a talking animated fish. Veronica Hamel had a supporting role in the 1979 film Beyond the Poseidon Adventure. Italian film star Claudia Cardinale looking bored at an event in 1963. The 17-year-old girl who inspired the 1962 song, The Girl from Ipanema Hilo Pinheiro. Helen Mirren appeared with the Royal Shakespeare Company in Troilus and Cressida in June 1968. Here's Jane Mansfield holding a cockatoo in 1959. Marilyn Monroe splashes in a pool, circa 1951. The Grooviness of Dawn Wells in 1970. Audrey Hepburn on set of Breakfast at Tiffany's 1961. Tato dressed up as a Martian with Mr. Rourke in an episode of Fantasy Island 1977. There she is, Phyllis George of Denton, Texas, receiving the crown as Miss America from her predecessor, Miss America 1970 in 1971. Heather Thomas as Jody Banks on The Fall Guy from 1981 to 86. Now that's a fish. A couple of happy fishermen with an enormous 300 pounds halibut caught in Alaska back in 1969. Eleanor Donahue, Ron Howard, and Andy Griffith posed for a holiday publicity photo for the Andy Griffith Show in 1960. Robert Redford poses for a promotional photo for the debut episode of the Alfred Hitchcock Hour in 1962. Faye Dunaway eats breakfast by the Beverly Hills Hotel pool the morning after winning the Oscar for Best Actress for Network in 1977. Karen and Richard Carpenter representing themselves at a softball tournament in 1973. The Pretenders in 1978, Pete Farndon, Chrissie Hynde, James Honeyman Scott, and Martin Chambers. Steve McQueen and his wife Neil Adams lie on a deck chair next to the pool at their Palm Springs, California home in 1963. Richard Gere and Valeria Kaprisky film a scene from the 1983 thriller Breathless. Putting their best foot forward, a young elated Marine dances the twist with Jane Mansfield at the U.S. Naval Station in Newfoundland in 1961. F Troop was a TV series that took place in Fort Courage during the 1860s, a fictional U.S. Army outpost in Kansas led by Commanding Officer Captain Wilton Parment, Ken Berry, from 1965 to 67. Eric Clapton, center, seated, debates how to make the peace chant with John Lennon and Yoko Ono at a pool in 1969. Laurie Saunders and Wolf in the adventure movie Mara of the Wilderness in 1965. The Warlocks, later to be known as the Grateful Dead, clowning around in the Bay Area in 1965. A Very Pink Pink Floyd in 1968. You Light Up My Life by Debbie Boone was actually the biggest song of the 1970s, spending 10 weeks at number 1, a record not beaten until 1991 when Boys I Men stayed on top for 13 weeks. Rolling Stones guitarist Ron Wood and his first wife Chrissie hang in their pool in Middlesex in 1975. Rock band Blue Oyster Cult has been around since 1967 and have sold over 24,000,000 records worldwide with hits like Don't Fear, The Reaper, Godzilla, and Burnin' For You. Jack Nicholson wades in a fountain wearing a hotel robe and smoking a cigar while vacationing in the south of France for the Cannes Film Festival in 1974. A young Melanie Griffith relaxes in the pool with the family pet lion Neil in 1971.